Some sick guitar licks, then watch this video. What's going on, everybody? My name is Jay Tarantino from the band Etherius, and today we are back breaking down some more sick licks, breaking down some more solos from our track, The Dark Oracle. Last lesson, I broke down the first verse guitar solo. Today we're going to get into the pre-chorus, and we're going to talk about tapping. The one thing that I like to do with tapping is I like to take two different chord shapes. I'll form one chord shape with the left hand, I'll form a different chord shape with the right hand, and I will combine them into one longer melodic tapping lick. It's not as hard as it sounds, and you can take some different approaches to it and create some really cool sounding, keyboard sounding type of licks. So the example that I played at the beginning of the video is actually what I play in the pre-chorus, and then there's also another section later on in the song where I do a similar thing with some different chord shapes. So like I was saying, what I'm doing is I'm forming one chord with the left hand and I'm forming a different chord with the right hand, or I'm tapping a different chord with the right hand, but I'm combining the two of them. So the first lick that I'm playing, it goes like this. And again, it's very simple. It's just one of those things where you kind of have to split your brain just because your left hand is doing one thing, your right hand is doing a different thing. And when you combine the two of them, you kind of have to think about it a little bit more. So it can be a little bit tricky. But this one is actually pretty easy. So like I said, I'm forming one chord with the left hand and I'm tapping another chord with the right hand and just putting them together. So the first chord, the chord that I'm doing with the left hand is this shape right here. So it's like kind of a G major 7 type of thing because we have G, B the third, and then F sharp, which would be the 7th. So we're doing 10th fret A string, 9th fret D string, and 11th fret G. So that's what the left hand is doing. The right hand is doing this. So we're doing kind of like an E minor type of chord there. So you have 14th fret A string, which is B, 14th fret D string, which is E, and then 12th fret on the G, which is G. So when you put the chords together, you get this kind of E minor, nice lush, kind of E minor 9 sound. So what we're doing here is we're doing... So I'm just tapping each note. You know, I'm fretting the note with the left hand, tapping the other chord with the right hand. So. And again, muting here is very important. So again, since I have my hand on the fretboard, I'm just, again, using the bottom of my right hand to just kind of mute the strings, especially the lower strings. The higher strings I'm kind of muting with the index finger on my left hand because you really want to make sure that those low strings aren't like kind of providing like a lower sort of overtone. It creates a lot of noise. So what I'm doing again is... For the next part of the lick, I'm changing the chord again. I'm changing the notes that I'm playing with the right hand, keeping the same shape with the left hand. So for the next part, we're doing... So again, we're doing a similar thing here in this major 7 shape. Instead of doing this, we're doing that. So we're doing root 5th 7th instead of root 3rd 7th. So again... And again, on the A string, we're tapping 15th fret, we're tapping 17th fret on the D string, and then we're tapping 16th fret on the G. And again, we're playing the same shape with the right hand. So again, and then we're doing one last chord shape. Again, the left hand is doing the same thing, but with the right hand is just doing. So that chord right there is a 15th fret A string, 14th fret D string, and 14th fret G. So it's kind of like a A minor shape right there. So again, we're doing first shape. Again, the left hand is doing the exact same thing, that 10, 9, 11 shape that we just went over. And right here. So those last two chords, we just play them once, and then the whole thing recycles again. So the first time through, the lick goes like this. And then it's going to recycle again. The key here is really just getting the strength in the right hand to make sure your tapping is going to be loud enough so the notes are not going to be cut short or they're going to sound like they're dead notes. You want to really make it sound like as if you were hammering on with the left hand or picking the note. You want to make sure you get the same force. So again, just practice really slow. The first shape. You know, again, you can break this down into little chunks like we always talk about. Then do the next two. And really just be careful with your muting. Again, make sure that you don't have any open strings ringing out. And once you get comfortable with it, you just put the whole chord together. Then go to the next chord. The good thing about this lick is that the left hand is doing the same shape, so once you get used to doing that, really your focus is going to be on what the right hand is doing. But again, it's one of those things where you have to split your brain because you're doing two different chord shapes with each hand. So it is a little tricky. It does take a little bit of practice to coordinate the two. So now we're going to move on to the next riff, which I do the same thing in there's like another sort of bridge riff going into a keyboard solo, and it's kind of the same concept, but the shapes are a little bit easier to play. We're just doing... So just a lot of power chord shapes. So really, mostly the left hand is just doing. So the left hand is doing 9 on the A string, 11 on the D string, and then when it goes to the next chord, we're just doing 9 on the G string and 12 on the D string. So, and then the right hand is doing this power chord. So it's going to be 16 on the D string and then 14 on the A string. And again, same concept. Right here, then we do this shape, just 14 on the D string, 14 on the A string, and the left hand, that shape is staying exactly the same. So again. Now we're going to do... So again, left hand doing similar shape, we're just moving it over to the next set of strings. So 14 on the A string, 14 on the D string, and then we're doing 9 on the G with the left hand, and then 12 on the D string. So, and then again, the left hand stays the same, and we just do this shape here, 16 and 14 on the G string, and then on the D string. So again. So now let's take this idea a step further, and let's take it to the higher strings, to the G, the B, and the E, and let's do something like, for instance, something like this. Again, you really have to concentrate and split your brain just because you're doing two different things with each hand and combining them together. So let's just say we... do something like that. So again, the shape we're going to do there is this E minor. So 9 on the G string, 8 on the B, 7 on the E. And then we're going to do this shape here with the right hand. Again, E minor. So that's going to be 16th fret G, 17th fret B, and then 15th fret E. So we're going to combine those two, and we're going to do the exact same thing like I just showed you. So... now let's take it a step further. Let's outline, you know, kind of a typical progression: E minor, D major, C major, B major. Let's outline that whole thing, and let's play it again, like I said, with tapping. And we'll go to D. Now C. Now B. All right, let's try that without stopping. It's way harder than it's harder than it looks. Again, because you have to concentrate on two things at the same time. You're switching chords with the left hand and you're switching chords with the right hand. So it does take a little bit more brain power. So let's try that again. Shit, man. There we go. All right, let's try that one more time because I messed up. Alright, so now I'll play the first example that I went over. I'll play it to the track so you can hear how it sounds in the context of the song.